John, very, very excited today. I know, you know what, did this special for you. I know you're dying to go to China.
I'm dying to go to China.
I know you're dying to get to
Killing
China.
me.
We set this up. We got Wilson Lamm. He's the
There's
regional.
Wilson right there.
Right there, regional
Woo.
sales rep, Black Scorpion Chili Fireworks. I know you're jonesing to get out to China. You can't get you to China, but we can get a little of China.
Ron, could I say, because I know, and Wilson, most of my stuff winds up on an editing floor. I'll have you know, this podcast would be a lot funnier. But could I say, like, Black Scorpions matter?
Yes, Black Scorpions matter. I
Yeah,
like
they do.
that. Yes,
Black
they
Scorpions
do.
matter.
They
you
do.
know?
They do.
Everyone
like
thinks
that.
about the red scorpion, but it's really the black scorpion.
There you go. I like that.
Okay.
Black Scorpions matter. That'd be a nice name.
And I like that name. I think we're going to make a firework that. Black Scorpions matter. There you go.
So, Wilson, how are you doing out there?
Yeah, doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Have you listened to the podcast or seen the YouTube channel?
Of course. You know, it's fun and covers a wide range of fireworks knowledge. Actually, I learned a lot of things from it. Sometimes I went back through the podcast and videos on Fireworks Brigade. I really enjoy this, and it's a very good window and bridge built between China fireworks manufacturers and U.S. dealers and consumers. For me, that is a phenomenal and successful project in fireworks, and I am so familiar with your guys' voice.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Good to hear that, because sometimes we feel like the only way people want to watch the channel is if we blow a bunch of stuff up, but anybody could do that. We like to talk and have fun, and every once in a while we'll blow some stuff up. But
And the nice thing about Wilson, not only does he, we've gone over this many times, Wilson and I, but not only does he understand and speak perfect English, but he also understands, like, just some sayings and phrases that we may use,
Idioms and stuff like that.
Yes. So that's what's really unique.
what are you? Were you educated in the States, or how are you so familiar with the language?
Well, I kind of had that dream before. I want to study overseas, but later I found that I don't have that opportunity, and financially not possible for me. So that was a long time ago. I downloaded some movies, and we got this stereo at home. My brother. So I stayed at home and watched the movie, and I learned the language, learned the tones, the accent from the movie. So, and I still remember the first movie that I watched was I don't remember the name. This guy flying at a helicopter was saying, "Oh shit, that was my gun." And that was the first line I learned from the movie.
There you go.
A long time ago.
See that?
There you go. I like that. There you go. So how long have you known John? How'd you guys meet?
Well, for me, I think it's over 4 years, right, John?
Yeah, I think, well, it's been
That
2
was,
years. 4 or 5. I think it might have been, yeah.
And the first time I met Johnny was actually in 2018 at the NFA Expo, which was our second show up at the NFA, I think. And I was doing the announcing, the shoot off, when and Johnny was right behind me. And later I found out Johnny was right behind me, watching me and my demo list. And I was like, what the heck is this guy doing? And later, and later he was invited to our factory later by Kendrick, who is my supervisor. So then I found out, oh, that was the watching guy, Johnny.
The watching guy.
There you go.
That was the first time I actually met Johnny. This is how we met. And
there you go.
Yep.
And I think that was the year that you were showing the pyro cubes at your table. Was that 2018?
Actually, 2017. I was Calvin and Kendrick was there, and we didn't shoot anything. Just put on the pyro cube box on the table.
Yeah, that's where I first met your company, was with that. But actually, years ago, Ron, many years ago, I was invited out to the Chili Fireworks Company long time ago. And that's when you guys were doing the Connectors series, which was another great, what I thought at that time was great. It was plug your one cake into the female and one cake into the male. And then so I went out there to see that. and that was the first time that I was there. And that was probably about, oh my God, it's got to be about 8, 9 years ago already. Yeah, time flies.
I think that was 2004 or five.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I know it was quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time ago. Before
So
I joined Chili Fireworks.
Yeah, you weren't there. Yeah, exactly.
So explain so we talked about Black Scorpion. What's the connection between Black Scorpion and chili?
Okay. Well, Black Scorpion is the brand, the fireworks brand carried by Chili Fireworks,
Okay.
which is us. We have two different brands actually. The other one is called Legend Dragon that only sells in China.
Okay.
And Black Scorpion for overseas market. Black Scorpion was created by Chili's founder, Mr. Lee, who has been active in fireworks business over 50 years. But he retired now. And that is the same year that Chili was founded in 1997. And Legend Dragon was created by Calvin and Vincent. So, they are the brothers. They are Mr. Lee's sons. And
Okay.
they are the second generation of Chili, So first, Black Scorpion was operated and promoted in Europe, later in Panama, Asia. And I think that was when, years later, that was when Johnny met us in around, 2004, 2005, I call it. And we sold a bunch of connectors cakes to the USA. That was a connected cake by using supportive rubber tubes with fuse inside. That's the first generation of PyroCube.
Yeah, that was way ahead of its time back then.
The PyroCube?
Well, I mean, before the PyroCube was this connector series, and that was really. And I even thought of. It had its problems along the way too, with who didn't know the in out and the in cord and the out cord. It was a little confusing to some, but what I thought was so unique was that you could basically make money selling the fuse, because the fuse is in like this rubber tube, almost like a surgical tube. So the fuse is inside.
Okay.
So
Yes.
if you bought more cakes, you'd have to buy more fuse. So you actually get some residual selling the fuse.
Okay.
So me, Ron, I'm always trying to think of how to just pay the rent. Can I just make a little bit of money?
You got $1.50 in your pocket.
I know. I had a couple dollars, and I'm trying to make it into four. So
That's
I'm always trying, Ron.
He's always trying to make a buck, right?
So hard.
Yeah.
When John's out in China, do you guys go out anywhere? Where do you take this guy? Where do you go?
Well, actually, there's a limited time provided for us. First of all, we drove him back to our company and have a little talk about fireworks, and later we do the demo. We don't spend much time outside the company actually, because John wouldn't stay here for too long. I know he's got a lot of time with other suppliers, so we don't hog him for too long. And
show him a lot of fountains. He likes that.
I know. And Johnny was that was the name of the bar, Fire Bar, right?
Fire Bar, that's my bar.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, a lovely place, and a lot of people went there. And I think we will have some bars here like that someday in future.
Yeah, because now you got to remember, Wilson's company is very far away from Luoyang, where I stay.
Yeah.
So they come to pick me up, and they take me out to Liling, right? Liling.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
then,
right. That's correct.
Yeah, and then we have about another hour. I think about an hour drive. It used to be longer, but the roads are much better now. Yeah.
So where are you located at? Where are you located?
At each side of this fireworks manufacturing area, each side. And the upper side is Luoyang, and on the east side of us is Jiangxi, another place for fireworks manufacturing. So we are in the middle, go between.
And you guys you talk about the cubes. You guys come up with any other new ideas you could tell us about? Any other ideas?
Wow, there's a lot we can tell about the PyroCubes, and we had a lot of talk about this, a lot of thoughts, and I really like Johnny's ideas on this product and his plans and thoughts on that. I joined in fireworks business for like, you know, same as long as I met Johnny, so 4 or 5 years. So Johnny gave me a lot of knowledge, a lot of inspiration on fireworks and fireworks also.
Oh,
And
that's
And we
awesome.
and we expanded the line quite a bit last year and this
uh,
year, I think. If we
yeah,
get to containers, then we I think we're about what up to like 12 500
right.
grams, I think, and
500
and
grand.
yeah, and then 8 or 12 with a 350 grams. We start off with 4 and 4, so we've and of course, if I was able to go to China, we probably would have increased that even more. It's just
Yeah,
it's hard for me to do things over video, and I don't get
that's right.
into it as much. And then when you have these freight issues, it it aggravates me to the point where it's not fun for me anymore. So I'm trying to make it more fun, but it's hard. It really
John's
is.
all about the
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
So we're going into 2022 now. We're just starting. So from your side, from where you're looking at, what's your impression of the industry as we start 2022? What's your like way up in the
Well,
sky level prediction, or what do you see happening on your side?
mhm. Well, it's been really hard for everybody in 2021, and the shipping issue is gonna last till I think at least in the middle of 2022. It's because it's hard to find the balance and get the things back to where they were. It's different now. Not only the industry itself, it's involved the global economy. I don't think we can solve by our own. I mean, the whole fireworks industry. Most importantly, I think the government should step in and take actions.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we are looking at a very good sales number at an annual meeting. And I think we will sell a lot more in 2022. But thing is, we have to settle down this shipping issues first. That is very important for us and for the dealers, for the importers uh, on the other side of the planet. So the major problem is we get the shipping issue done. We can have that, sales peak, I think.
So you don't think there's a lack of production issue? You think it's going to be just more of the same with the shipping issues, right?
I think the shortage of fireworks is only temporary. It's just for its currently situation. Not it would not be a big problem in the future. No, the whole industry is changing. Everybody realized that we have to make some changes to go with the situation right now. So we are making plans for 2022, and for currently the production halt during Chinese New Year is mandated. It happens every year as long as we
Right.
celebrate our New Year. So um, looking back to 2021, as I said, lack of labor becomes one of the reasons for price surge, and nowadays, etc. And not only us, not only Chile, not only Black Scorpion. I think the Raccoon, Winda, or Jake's, or some other brands and company factories, they are making changes too. They're going with the current situation, and some of them even get another way to ship out the fireworks. So everybody's is working their way to get things done. So I don't think there's going to be a big problem for the fireworks shortage. But currently, right at the moment, we are going through this. So we are working very hardly on this. But everybody should have faith in us, including the importers, dealers in the U.S. They are working very hard too to get the fireworks to the stores, get the fireworks to the consumers.
So on your end here, how is the shipping? Has anything in shipping changed? Is it? Everybody keeps saying that the prices are coming down, but I don't think that's what hazmat.
Well, it went down a little bit.
Did it?
It went down a little bit, but we're also having other issues. We got more fines imposed on us if that container doesn't leave LA.
Mhm.
It's a stupid fine. It's $100 for the first day, 200 for the second day, 300, 400, and so on, with no cap, no nothing. I have no way. It's out of my control completely. So I can't go to the ports and pick up the container. I can't do anything. So I'm at the mercy of the ports and the longshoremen, which, as you know, right now I think is not a China problem. It's a United States problem because we can't get the ships unloaded because they don't want to work in California. The unions don't want to work.
So who charges the fine?
Charge of fine is our government because they want these ports cleaned off. But what they're fining me, but I have no control over it.
You prefer to have your
yes.
You prefer to have the product.
I'm back and forth, and I'll be in LA again on Wednesday. I'm back and forth constantly to California trying to get things done and move things a little bit faster. As Wilson probably knows, we're not getting shipping space on all these containers because Matson and Costco only want to go to LA, and then that's it.
Yep.
We can't get door-to-door moves. That means I got to get people in LA to offload it for me. But, only certain people can go pick up your container. You have to be licensed, bonded, the whole 9 yards. So we have no control over this. So, there was a special on one of our news stations, 2020 over here, people paid $500,000-$600,000 in fines. I mean, if I had to literally pay $500,000-$600,000 in fines for my product, I'd be out of business. I don't know what the guy did that paid $500,000-$600,000, but obviously he's got products selling every day, where we have products selling once, maybe twice a year. So, another challenge for us, Wilson, as you know, is we get fireworks, once a year. But the problem is, like right now, is we didn't collect this money last year. So what was costing $1.4 million for freight is now $4.2 million of new money, and it's not coming from anywhere. So as we get containers in now, the prices are sky high, and that helps us pay for future containers, for future freights. But getting us over this hurdle, which was a big stepping stone for Starr Fireworks, to at least make it till January, till we get like a little bit of another paycheck. Getting from July to January was a major hurdle. We got in about 18 containers after the 4th of July that obviously we couldn't sell before. They all came in after. So all the money we made basically went to clear this 18, but that 18 came in at almost 3 times the price
of what you collected.
Of what I collected. Yeah. And if I would have got that 18 before 4th of July, we would have had that much more money in the bank. We had no revenue,
Right.
Starr Fireworks, had very little sales in June because we had nothing to sell. It was already sold, So for us, products are coming in. So far so good, but now we're gonna get. I think we got 3 or 4, about maybe 5 on the water now, and then then we're gonna be done until Chinese New Year's over, and then we're gonna see how how the production is after Chinese New Year. I mean, that's always been a struggle, anyways.
Yeah. It happens every year. It lasts at least 20 days, I think. Before that was 12 days before Chinese New Year's Eve, and at least 10 days after the Chinese New Year. The factories workers they need more time to spend with their family. And, most of the people get to work, start to work on the 8th day after New Year's Eve. 8 is the lucky number in China. It means get rich.
Yeah. That's why I always thought it was 7. That's why I'm poor. I knew
You're one off.
I'm always one number
You're always
off.
a day early.
Oh my God, yeah.
Number 8.
Yeah, I'm changing. That's why my passwords are always 888. I'm letting everybody know it doesn't matter.
Yeah. If you want to get a present or gift it to Chinese, get them number. Number stuff.
There you go.
And those red envelopes. Johnny loves red envelopes.
I heard about that. So, do you guys do novelties, and what's going on with novelties? I heard there could be an issue.
Wow. Well, novelties are really headache this year. Really headache. First of all is the sparklers, and later is the morning glory, and later after that is the magical balls. What happens in there is that, as I said, the lack of labor becomes one of the reasons for price surge, and novelties assortment requires a lot of manpower, using hands mostly, not machines. And add to that, 75 days of summer stuff has made it even worse. Like Grand Bloom and Tiny Tanks, Serpent. Actually, not only novelties, fireworks that are involved in complicated label wrapping will be facing shortage, more or less. And the government are applying more strict policy on these production process. Factories used to hire people from the outside, and they have finished products, the products without powder inside, like label wrapping, box folding, etc., could be done outside of the factory. There's more people actually doing the work. So, and now it's all prohibited. So as far as I'm concerned, some already got their first ticket to the prison, which is a big deal to them. So there was a big shortage of the novelties and assortments in 2021, and but I think the factories owners will figure it out in 2022. But I'm sure the prices of sparklers and morning glories won't go down. It will stay at this level.
Is that part of the, there's updated standards, right? The China fireworks standards that's updated, that goes into effect in March. Is that what you're talking about? Is that why you can't?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was a big thing in our fireworks industry in China, as China's fireworks standard is being applied and taken seriously by the custom these years. The fireworks that are allowed in the past may become, history. For example, the cake with 3 inches bore are classified as 0.3 G, and that affected all the NOAPs in the U.S. I think you guys can still remember the metal cage thing, right?
Yeah.
There's not written in the standard, but according to the shipping regulations, then it was claimed that the metal cage would provide extra safety in transportation, and there's no solid evidence proving that. That's how the whole government from Europe requires from the fireworks. The break rate surpasses 5%. It has to be put in the metal cage, and they said that will help provide more safety. So it controls explosion inside a metal cage. But for me, I don't think that makes sense. Even worse, there's more pressure inside.
Yeah, you're bottling all that pressure up.
Yes, to the updates of the standard in March, nobody knows exactly what that would be. However, I've been trying to put my ears on that. It is said that there would be a change in the category for combinations, and there's a detailed requirements for assortment and novelties, tiny fireworks items, and they divided the Class C into Class C1 and Class C2. There's more detailed and more requirements on that, but nobody knows what exactly that would be.
You're talking about the 9-inch racks and things like that?
9-inch racks and novelties and stuff like that. Reloadables have already been in a different classification, I think, as of last year. Right now, the shells got to be made at like a Class A factory or something like that.
Yeah, so that was Class B, actually.
Class
so
B, yeah.
You got to use another different kind of a license to manufacture canister shells.
Yeah.
Reloadable shells. We don't, for us, our company, we don't have the license to produce that. But we can work with the factory that they can
have
do
the license. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like every year, not only are we getting, and this whole metal cage, and that's all on China's side. That's not on our side. DOT doesn't require none of that for us. But, if it required on there, well, then that's going to be more money, because now the price of the firework, the price of the big box, now the metal cage, that's
all extra weight.
It's going to make the 9-shot rack probably so expensive that once again, then you're not going to be selling that many. And there's very little profit in a 9-shot rack for us as a store. There's only 2 to a case. So, if it's 36 pieces in a case, like a novelty, or 36 12s on a rocket, we can make more money. But when you only got 2 in a case, you can't really do the right markup. So you're risking a lot of money for a product that's very expensive. You're paying a lot of money in freight for products that are very expensive. And if it gets too expensive, people just aren't going to buy it. Now you just waste a lot of shipping space.
There's a lot of hardcore fans who love the 9-shot racks, though, and they come just for those.
Yeah, they do. But what happens is when prices get too high,
they'll figure something else out.
There's going to have to, they're going to, when prices get too high at 9-shot racks, they're going to go back to buying more and more reloadables, which have you seen has gone up. Reloadables are now becoming once again back to where they were years ago, because reloadables are affordable in the sense that you can just light one and let it go and leave it alone.
Right.
If you buy a cake, you're going to light it and it's going to be over in 25 seconds.
Right. So
reloadables were really always the best value. And then all of a sudden they come out with these nice cakes, and then you got the 500-gram cakes back in 2002, I think it was. And people are like, oh, wow, this is nice. But now with the prices going up, now it looks like the 424 package, like your Cobra Kai and different ones, they've been selling like crazy. Nobody even wants a small little box anymore. They want the big 24 pack. So people are spending money, but it just, they might be pulling away from the cakes into the reloadables. And so, you got to really make a decision. You have to really watch what you're selling. Like in my case, I got to really watch what I'm selling. But it's not only me, like we talked about, in the industry with such high freight across the board and everything. You're going to start going to grocery stores. You're not going to be seeing certain items because they don't sell as good. So it's going to start picking and choosing,
Oh, right.
The less variety, the less money for freight, the less outlay of cash, and you're forcing the people to buy what you have.
Well, right. Yeah, we've talked about that.
So we're going to be doing a lot of that this year ourselves. It's
less SKUs.
Yeah. Hey, if these 500-gram cakes don't make it, keep them. We'll just sell what we have. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. And, unfortunately for novelties and assortments is a big thing for us. They're going to become harder and harder to find. But like Wilson said, I'm hoping that the factory figures it out, because we need assortments. People, I got tanks in at, I don't know, maybe $185 a case. I don't know how many people are going to buy novelties at $185 a case. So I might not need these tanks anymore at $185.
Well, what's with the assortments? What's going on with the assortments?
Well, there have been no factory. No factory seems like they're really set up. Wilson's production schedule is pretty much set up, or their your assortment area is pretty much set up.
Yeah. We have a production line, especially for assortment. The reason is that because there's different categories of products inside an assortment. So when you put reloadables in the assortment, and there's fountains and sparklers or snappers inside. So first of all, you got the license to produce the reloadables, and you got the license to produce the small cakes, and you got license to pour sparklers. So that is possible for one factory to get all the things done. So you have to collect them all, and then put it in a place there where they have the people, they have the space to do that, and they are legally licensed to produce this all the products. Then you can start to pack them. So it's really hard, and it's really complicated. It takes a lot of time and energy to pack the assortments.
Yeah, and it seems in my experience visiting all these factories and different vendors, it seems like the factories want to get these products out, and then the assortments are the last thing they do. Like I had one factory owner said, when I get this warehouse cleaned out, we're going to do the assortments. I'm like, well, when is this going to be? I mean, so. And it seems like a lot of factories. By your place, you have a whole dedicated area for assortment. The only problem that you face is getting all the pieces in one place at the same time.
Yeah.
And
there's a big long table there in the working shop. There's one solid room for assortment packing. So we just need to get more people in. And assortments.
No, definitely. And we have the same problem too. Now, we make about, I don't know, now we're up to about 2,000 of these, or maybe 3,000 of these brown box assortments. But now we need the pieces. We're short on garden spring. We're short on this. So now we can't even start to produce. When we had a vast inventory, we could do anything. But now our inventory is pretty much depleted since 2020. So. It's a struggle. We're all facing it.
So it sounds like in China, the government is they want you to specialize in a certain thing, and you have to have the license for a certain thing. Whereas before, you can make whatever you wanted within reason, but now you need to have the license to make a special thing. So, what in your estimation, what caused that? What was there something that happened? Was there accidents or whatever that happened that created this extra scrutiny and this extra focus on being so centralized and so specialized?
Well, then in the angle of the government, it's better for them to control the whole industry, and it's better for the management. They can classify the factories and companies. It's in different categories when they go through the taxes searching or the material purchasing. They can look up. It's better for them to do that, and it's more effective. And they can control everything in this industry. It's more safe for the economy and the industry. So that's better actually for them. And I think on the other side for us, it's better for the company to locate a factory and to get certain things done. But the fireworks,
Stuff off back there.
somebody's shooting. Wow.
Nice.
It sounds like Chicago on Friday night.
I like that.
Yeah.
These days, there's occasionally there would be, fireworks outside. They'll go bam, bam, bam in the morning, China. It's approaching New Year's. Okay, so for the government, the fireworks is not a big business for them, compared to the others. The steel, textile, paper making. It's not a big business. So they are trying to cut down the license of fireworks manufacturing, right? There's different reasons for them to do that. So
Right.
it's the changes, including the updates of the standard in this March. So for us, what we have to do is to embrace them and go with the changes. Do what they tell us to do. That's the only thing you can do that.
Yes. Like we said, adapt or die.
Adapt.
But there has been some explosions. Like 2019, I think. There's been some major explosions, and then the government would rather not deal with that if they don't have to. It's like that's why even now, when they have some of these government meetings, they just shut the factories down altogether. And during the summer, we used to have if it was a cold day, you could work. If it was a real hot day, you stopped working. Well, now they shut it down for almost a month and a half straight. No matter if it's cold or hot, if it falls during that time, it's just shut down. So, yeah.
The factories can easily get shut down.
Yeah.
For accidents. Some even not from the fireworks industry. Some other accidents were like big industry explosion or happen in chemistry or other industries. And people are warning you. You guys have to pay more attention to the safety production. So first of all, it's an explosion happened in the factory, and second of all is the transportation. They spend a lot of man and energy and time on the transportation explanation. In the past, you can take the fireworks in a unlicensed truck to transport it to from leading warehouse or to the port. But now you need at least two people in the truck, driver and the guard. And second of all, you need the license and a special truck, especially with the black powder or fuses. So it's getting more and more strict. So you have to roll with that.
Yeah, you just have to adapt and do what's asked of you, and then as long as you do that, you meet the requirements, you can continue to do what you do. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's pretty much what's going on. And then I was looking up I met him years ago. The guy that they always write about in the newspapers here that controls the whole shipping industry. Was it
Mr.
Mr.
Dean.
Mr.
Ding.
Ding, right?
Yeah.
Ding, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
There's one guy.
yeah, he's pretty suave. You know, he does a lot.
Well, his story is legend, I think. Is
Yeah.
Legend. When I was a kid, there's only one big warehouse in front of my house. There's a big house storing fireworks, and Mr. Ding was working there. He started his business right there when I was a kid. There's a lot of fireworks there, and a lot of trucks, a lot of containers going on over there. I'm pretty sure that the fireworks that sell to the USA was majorly from that warehouse. So actually, I am the witness of the fireworks industry, right? I'm over 30 years now, and I'm the witness. So as somebody want to have a cut from this business, and somebody has better connections, so Mr. Ding have to move to another place. So he get that was from the trailers before, right? Not ocean, not by sea. And so he moved to Shanghai, and then get to, started a company, we call Huayan Logistic right now.
Yep.
And he cleared out all the hurdles and roadblocks from all the way from Liuyang to Shanghai. The road, there's a routine. So that is his work. Because you have to go through different provinces, you have to deal with different governments, different levels, different safety bureaus. So there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of things you have to deal with. I think that's amazing. That's what Mr. Din did in the past. So this is the thing that a man that Mr. Din that were capable of. So that's why he becomes the only person that can control control the shipping, the transportation.
And then he also owns U.S. companies here too. Some, when they didn't team up with him, he opened up his own.
No.
So he's very entrenched. He's like I'd say I'm like a modern day Ding starter. You know
are?
how I control everything. But Ding would be like my mentor. You
There
know?
you go.
And but yeah. So, people went to meetings with him and they would wear red so they would do business with him. That was his favorite color. But yet, if he gave you these prices, if you didn't like them, he just opened up his own company.
We don't need it. We'll do it ourselves.
Okay, and so people thought they could get on his good side, but at the end of the day, just like Johnny, he's just worried about money and power. So I like the guy myself, even though I have to pay more. But you know what? I applaud him because it takes somebody, and
Somebody's got to do it.
somebody's got to do it. Yeah, I mean, I've done it all my life, so I mean, let others. So it's fair.
Johnny's a smart guy, always smart. I think like this.
I try. If I can't dazzle with my brains, I just beat you up.
There you go.
They always say if you can't dazzle them with your brain, dazzle them with both. But my theory is if I can't dazzle with my brain, I just beat you up.
Okay, there you go. So let's say everybody we get everything working. 2022 is better than 2021. What do you see like the next few years, 4 or 5 years? What's a little longer term prospect as far as you're concerned? Everything gets stabilized. We get back to normal, and all these regulations, you just deal with them and you move on, right?
It won't be the same as before, that's for sure. And it is a common sense now in China's fireworks industry that there are a few new blood joined in this business. The major reason is that people pay more attention to the working environment and the danger. Obviously, is in one of their considerations. Just because of this, fireworks manufacturing has been always considered as with the most dangerous and harsh working environment ever. And because every time there's an incident, accident, there would be news all over the place, which scares people. A lot. And I think that is a result that the government will like to see. They started to cut down the license. they encourage the owners to give up the facility. So we need more young people to get in this business, but there's a few of them, who's willing to join in this business, and I think there's, in spite of that, they don't have much knowledge about fireworks. They need to know about the fireworks. It's part of a Chinese nature. It's part of Chinese culture, and it's very important for us. It's not only a business thing. It's part of a culture. If you study the story of a fireworks, the crackers, it's different. It's so different. It's so magical, and it's not as dangerous as you think, actually. And it is not a let's say industrial product. It is not. It is especially from certain places where nowhere else can produce that. So fireworks, as I've been working since college over 10 years now. Fireworks is the most special product that I ever came with. That's so different from other consumer products. That is very special. So, 2022, I wish, but we are making changes. We are updating our logistic system, our development center, our supply chain. We are expanding our supply chain, especially the novelties and assortments. We want to collect more products in and develop more new products for USA markets. I think the shortage of fireworks is just temporary, but things will not go back anymore. So, things gone, they're gone, they're history. So we have to kind of move on, And before that, we talked about the updates of the fireworks standard in March. So, and we have to go with that too. And I think our customers need to know about the new standards, what happens there, and why would they do this. That more or less kind of affect the fireworks business in the USA in the future. And I heard that some companies are looking for suppliers in Mexico or Brazil or India. That's a good thing, I think. That's a good thing because you have more sources, not only from China. You get fireworks in, and probably more affordable items that are probably the items that already disappears in China. So I think that's a good thing. There's more places that could produce fireworks. It is a great thing for fireworks industry.
Diversification is always good.
Yeah. Problem is it's going to take some years.
All right.
It's going to take some years to get even close to where we need to be. For production, especially in India and Mexico. I mean, we've met with different people in Mexico. We've been to factories. They're doing better. I mean, you see the fireworks going off at New Year's Eve. They're doing better, but they got a long way to go, and it's not that cheap. But the freight is cheaper, so that offsets. Just like years ago, it would offset. What's that? The other province in Beihai. Just like Beihai products were higher, especially way higher than Liling, a little bit higher than Luyang, but the freight from Beihai was cheaper, so it balanced out.
Right.
Now, the price has gone up all over the place. Beihai is still higher, obviously, but
it all levels out.
Yeah, it's supply and demand in Beihai now. Their freight has gotten high too. Not only has their freight gotten high, but it doesn't seem like, I don't know what happened, Wilson, but it doesn't seem like Brothers had a lot of connection there with the freight, and it seemed like something happened because their containers are rolling around in the ocean for months, and like he controlled that whole shipping thing there, but yet they're not landing there. So I don't know what's going on there,
Well, they're working with I'm not gonna tell the name with another
Yeah.
big company together
Well,
to
we know
ship
the
out
names. Yeah.
fireworks. So that's kind of I think we take him off.
Yeah.
Um, but he guys, there's a they have a the brothers got big connections in the government, and there was actually they had a history before, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So as far as I know, the warehouse of this company, this fireworks importers, are totally full. They have no containers to ship, so they work together to get the things done. Otherwise, we're facing big problems,
Yeah.
both financially and the, they may have to cut down the stores, whatever. So I think that is the only way they can work this out, and there's correct way. But what happens right now? You said the containers are going along the ocean right now, and there's no news coming back that the containers are getting back to China
Yeah.
both in Shanghai and Beihai, and I think it's probably not most likely that there's no empty container um, from the USA, and there's a lack of truck drivers there. There's no enough empty containers to load all the commodities to the USA. Compared to the other commodities, fireworks it's very very small. There's
Yeah. Oh
small,
yeah.
there are limited space or areas on the ship for fireworks. There's so a lot more other commodities.
And this new thing, this whole Mobile, Alabama. Well, they're
Hmm.
making me, you're basically buying these containers. So now I got to get a truck to deliver it, but then I also got to get a forklift to take the container off of the truck, and then it belongs to me, and then I own it. So now
You
I'm
own
gonna
the
have,
container?
yeah, I got 3 of them now that I'll be owning shortly. Luckily, I got a neighbor next door with a big forklift that can probably help me out, but I'm gonna have 3 of these containers sitting on the property. So, hopefully I can turn around and sell them. But that's what cracks me up. There's a container shortage, but yet they don't want to spend the money to get it back. So they're just like, here, take it. So, I'm going to have 3 containers I don't even want because it's cheaper to keep them than it is to try and return them, which, it's like, I'm not going to say Ron's bank, but, at banks here in the United States, they're not taking any change into the bank. Like a little kid, you save your change and you go dump it at the bank.
Right.
So the banks aren't taking it. And now there's a change, there's a coin shortage. And you're really blaming the government, whatever, there's a coin shortage. But the reason there's a coin shortage is it's not recycling.
Because we're not thinking, yeah.
So there's a container shortage, but yet they're not really recycling the containers because now they're saying, well, it costs too much to get it back, just keep it. So, I mean, either I'm going to have to get into the building container business
Containers
or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, of course.
It sounds like there was a lot of disruption, whether it was COVID or accidents or government regulations or whatever. There's a lot of disruption in the system. And I think it's going to take a little while for it to work itself out. But in the meantime, you got to have smart guys like Wilson and smart guys like you, right? And you got to have a little staying power.
I'm jumping ship. I open up a coffee shop. I'm done. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I get more. I get
That's
more
a great idea.
when I see like a little floater being sold for $1. A guy gives me $100,000 and says, "Here, give me my fireworks order." I'm like, "I'll take your money. I really got nothing to give you." We'll see.
He's not lying. We got a case of T-shirts upstairs.
I got a case of T-shirts. I'm watching cameras on my phone. I'm more worried about coffee and I am the fireworks. I'm not even going to Fargo because it's too depressing and it's cold.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Fargo?
And I'm gonna teach people English for a living.
Yeah.
There you go. Have you ever been to Fargo, Wilson?
No, never been to Fargo, and then I wish I hope I can get to Fargo someday and to the North Dakota. I really want to see what happens during the 1st of July, and I would be involved and want to be part of it. Talk
It's amazing.
directly to consumers.
Yeah.
And when Wilson's ready to move to the United States, we have a nice job waiting for him.
Moving around cases in the warehouse. It's
Yeah.
the forklift bought from a neighbor.
Yeah, a big job.
Well, you fit in Chicago. You see, you got a Bulls jacket on there.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
check out.
There it is.
Look at
Look
that.
at that. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Michael
Chicago
Jordan.
is a magical word for me. Talking about that. First of all, all right, let's get it from the very beginning. The wise guy, right? Okay, the wise guy. Personally, I really love the logo of wise guy. It's a gentleman holding a Chicago typewriter, right? It's a Chicago typewriter.
He knows.
Yeah, and FireNet. I know about this machine gun was the time when I was reading a novel about a bunch of Chinese Tomb Raider. And the gun was described as very powerful, big load of bullets. And I'm a, big fan of Michael Jordan, who is the hero of Chicago. So that was pretty impressive for me. For me, Chicago is a place where smart and talented people appears, and I even carry the luggage tag on my backpack for work all day long with the Wise Guy logo, Sin City brand, and
Nice.
Fireworks Brigade.
Nice.
I love them, and I think they give me luck, and I think Wise Guy carries a very good collection of classic and unique fireworks with affordable prices. I went through the website, everything, including things that are commonly seen and also rare individual fireworks like one of a kind. Johnny's idea on a product is based on a very specific and long-term perspective. Let me put it this way. He can foresee the future of a product, whether it sells or not, sells great or not. Of course, in condition that what you have is what you see. So, that's so far. That's the impression I feel for Chicago. I feel for North Dakota. I feel for Fargo. So these bunch of words, it's very special to me.
And you're one of our special suppliers too, because we always brainstorm. We get ideas. We have a new one that we're working on now.
Yeah, that's right.
We're waiting on.
That's right.
So it's inspiration for me to get these ideas and to get them made, especially when I can't go to China. That's the hardest part, we lost a few suppliers, with this whole COVID and whatever, and so I'm glad that we're getting like Pyro Slut was,
Who does he do Pyro
he
Slut?
did Pyro Slut.
How do you like that label?
I really agree. I love the big rocket.
Yes. So that's going to be, obviously, that's going to become that's going to become a logo. That's going to become one of our logos, like a Wise Guy brand. A Pyro Slut's just going to be a little logo, no more than a big lady licking a rocket, but a small lady licking a rocket. But
Is there going to be a luggage tattoo of Pyro Slut?
What's that? A tattoo? Yeah.
Luggage tag of.
Oh yeah, okay.
Luggage tag. There you
Yeah.
go. We got T-shirts.
We got T-shirts. We should get
And I
luggage
really
tag.
love I really love the tags on the label. Small words on the label that you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Name,
No, it really turned out good.
Oh, that's a great. Yeah, that came out really
The
good.
cake sold really good, and everybody liked it. But a lot of people just said, they saw the label, like, I have to buy it, especially at those conventions, like, different ones like PGI and NFA, where you got a bunch of pyros and they really get into it. I don't know how it would sell on my shelf. It could be like a bunch of people boycotting out front of Johnny Starr's store.
Ticket signs.
We're not sluts. We're not sluts. But I can see it now. But
There you go.
I'm willing to take that chance. But yeah, it's kind of nice to have someone that feels the same energy in the business that I do.
Right.
And like you say, there's not too many young ones coming into the business. When I came into the business, I was one of the youngest ones because there's not a lot of young people coming in. There's been a few after me, but nowhere near as many in my day.
We were at NFA. We talked to those young guys. Remember, we had that same discussion for like an hour. We talked about how to get young people
involved
in the thing. It's not easy.
And it's not so easy. Everyone's into their video games and their telephones and, whatever else.
It's
That's
just
what happened in China now.
Yeah.
Yeah, people would rather go to the town show and let somebody else shoot it off.
And like you say, fireworks, a cultural thing, just like you hear, every wedding, in Luyoung, every morning I was waking up to firecrackers going off and off. But, those people are dying off. And unless they continue that tradition with the young people, which China's a little more traditional than like we used to be. And now we're no longer,
Right.
We had holidays that we'd celebrate as families. And as a family grows up, and then all of a sudden it drains. So I think China's going to be faced with the same problems that we're all faced with. The longer it goes on, the more traditions fall apart, and it's, I worked for the, major newspaper back in the day. And the reason they gave so many newspapers to the schools were to get the young people in the habit of reading the newspaper. We need to get young people in the habit of buying fireworks again,
Right.
And, just like we talked about down in Cabo San Lucas, when Sammy Hagar dies at that bar, maybe it's got another lifespan of maybe 10 years, 15 years. And then the young people don't know Sammy Hagar. They could, it's just a bar to them. So it's very important that we keep tradition going, especially in the fireworks, because that's what drives fireworks. Fireworks in Hawaii, firecrackers for tradition, and fireworks in China, in the Philippines. That's such a big part of their culture, so they need that,
Well, there'll always be fireworks, but you always want there to be. You'll always have fireworks and always be part of the lexicon, always part of entertainment, always part of that. But you don't want to lose the human interface and kids being able, because my kid, he's 22 years old. He wouldn't know about fireworks if it wasn't for me. Like, there's no real place for him to go. But now, he thinks, he thinks fireworks are cool just because of us. But there's not that many. It just dies off.
The problem is that we had such a great year in 2020 that should have propelled the industry at least another 3-4 more years of solid purchasing, because so many people say, hey, you know what, this was great. The big shows were canceled. We had a good time, and let's just do it again. It was great on the kids. But I'm just afraid that the big, huge increase in price now will force the average family just go see the big shows again because it's cheaper, So if we could have kept those prices down, freight and all that, it would have been really much better for the industry, because we really had a good kickstart back to the fireworks industry in 2020 because the big shows were canceled and people had a social distance. So, and I said on this podcast a long time ago before, I says, if every family just comes out and spends $20, it's going to be the busiest 4th of July ever. When people were doubting me and when people said that 4th of July was going to be stale and nobody's going to go out, are we going to miss it? And what I said it right here. I said, everyone's going to go out and spend $20 and it's going to be the best. And they did. People came out. Sure, all that funny money from the government helped. Those people were getting a lot of money from our government, and they just, instead of paying their bills, they decided to incur more bills. But that's what people do. But so I'm hoping that we had a great 2021, but we had a shortage. Now I don't think we're going to have as bad as a shortage because the prices are so high. Because like we had talked about, if prices are up, if prices are up another, prices are up 75 more percent, 50 more percent, basically that's, if the guy comes in with the same amount of budget, he's going to get 25% less fireworks. So in theory, we don't have to buy as much, and that's kind of, I'm leaning, I don't know if I have a choice. My containers are rolling in pretty good and we still got some money and we're rolling. But, when they stop rolling in, it's going to be wherever chips fall, and we were thinking of getting out of wholesale for this year, but I hate to do that. We built a long time. We got a good customer base. We don't want to let it go. And we helped out a lot of people last year that couldn't get fireworks. And, hopefully they remember us, and we'll see what happens. But I'm like you, Wilson. We just adapt, we adapt, we diversify. Some people may not be happy that, oh, hey, how come you can't get this or that? Well, we can't. And, and this is what we have, and go from there,
Well, Wilson, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, they go to chilifireworks.com.
Of course, that's one of the channels that you can get to me. And you can also go to youtube.com/chilifireworks or go to our Facebook page to get to me.
Okay.
Also send me emails. That's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Wilson at chilifireworks.com.
And then if you're interested in buying fireworks from Wilson, he usually tells them, go see Johnny Starr, which I like that. I love you for that, Wilson. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
It all helps me.
Wilson, thanks so much for doing this. Anytime you want to come on, let us know. We're more than happy to talk to you anytime you want. You got any good news to share with us, let us know.
And maybe after in March, when you find out some of these regulations and rules, maybe we can have you back on.
Yeah.
And you can kind of explain it to us, so then we can kind of explain it to the rest of the world. But it'll be interesting. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. No problem.
All right. We hope to see you in Chicago or Fargo sometime soon.
And I hope to see you in China even sooner.
There you go, John's time.
And that is your source of inspiration.
Yes.
Right?
I hope to see you guys real soon. And I'm jonesing. I don't have the Coffee King anymore. I had to go open up my own coffee shop because.
Is that a coffee shop in China?
Yeah, Coffee King in China, where I would hold court every day, and now I was so tired of not having coffee anymore. I opened up a coffee shop. See, and now I'm even doing waffles like they sell in China. So see, I'm making my own Coffee King until China reopens. Now, once China opens up, I'll get rid of my own coffee shop.
Or was it chilifireworks.com? Go there and you can check out all Wilson's stuff and get in contact with him or get in contact with John.
And Black Scorpion got a great label, great product.
Pyro Slut is Black Scorpion.
Yeah.
So we know where that came from. We know it's good. We shot one off. We did the Master Classic. It came out.
Yeah, for one more thing, we only work with smart importers.
Yes, thank you.
Smart as Johnny.
It's very hard to do business with dumb people.
Yeah. I know. I do a podcast with one. No.
That's a saying in banking. You can't fight stupid.
Yeah.
We say that all the time. You can't fight stupid. You just gotta let it go. You make more money off the smart. You make more money with the smart people.
With smart people,
it takes way too much of your time to do the other.
Takes a lot of effort to work with dumb people. Now wait a minute. We're not supposed to be talking about Dino.
No.
What about Dino?
Ooh, gotta get one shot in there.
Thanks a lot, Wilson. Talk to you later.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.